All right, so if conservatively 1% or less of your customers leave every month, that means that the lifetime value of one of your customers is $3,500. And you're spending 30-ish to get them if it's a referral, or 100-ish to get them from Facebook ads. That's crazy. Like, you're putting in $1 and you're getting back 100. What's stopping others from starting this business?
Well, nothing. I mean, we passed a guy at the landfill earlier today who was pulling a trailer full of trash. So, like, that's the easiest way to start it. I mean, if you were to really bootstrap this, I think the pre-sales thing I was lucky with. I don't think everyone can do that unless there's a perfect storm of, like, a business sells and the new buyer sucks. Right? So that was a perfect storm, and I'm lucky. I'll be the first one to call it out. I'm sure it'll be in the comments. But if you wanted to start this on your own, you could definitely start it for like next to nothing, right? So like, you don't get the cash influx that I had because of the pre-sales. You could buy a trailer and start it there. There's a guy on Twitter that I follow right now, which is funny because he's starting a trash company, and he started with just bulk trash pickup, like a truck and a trailer, and he would then moved into dumpsters.
Like 1-800-GOT-JUNK type stuff?
Yep, 100%. Basically, he was just picking up people's crap on like Facebook. Like, that's the lowest entry, and you can start with a truck. Maybe not a Cybertruck. You know, you can start with like a F-150, but like you can bill for that, like $600, whatever. And that can be how you start, and then you get a trailer, and then that trailer can not only take stuff to the landfill, but it can pick up bags. That is the easiest and cheapest way to start. I don't know if I personally would have done that, just because it's a lot of work. This felt like I could cut the start line and do it without. But that's how I would do it. I would start with bulk pickup. Facebook will pick up your trash. Then I would go to trailer. Then I'd go to trailer drop-in. And then I would build, I think a big part that we talked about is like building a brand. If you can tell a story, this is where people get lost. You don't have to be a good storyteller. Just say like, hey, I'm gonna start picking up trash and here's why. I didn't like this, we're doing this, so I'm gonna start picking up trash. And then you just keep doing that. And then what happens is this weird kind of snowball effect happens where you get branded bins. Now the bins are out. Now you've got 10 customers and you just say, hey, if you don't mind, can you refer your neighbors? I'll give you a free month of trash. And now you've got 2 snowballs rolling. And I personally think that that's a good way to go about it, because if you were to exit, subscription businesses tend to sell more, because instead of like running a plumbing company or HVAC company, where I'm not knocking them, it's a little bit of a brand.
You're only as good as your next deal.
Next month. Next month. You have to start over every single month. Where I might not grow as fast as them or have the ticket volume that they have. I would love a $15,000, HVAC install. Our stuff snowballs. So they might win in the short term, and if you don't save a bunch of that money and tell a good story and do branding and radio ads and everything, this I can not tell as good a story. But after 30 years, if you look at the 2 businesses, I bet you, I could be wrong. It's all based on the operator. But subscription businesses, much like software, sell at a multiple.
Back to the pre-sale thing, I feel like if someone's watching this and they wanted to do the pre-sale, they could proactively join 10 to 20 neighborhood Facebook groups 100%. In their local area and just watch. Just sit in the background and watch. Then you go in and search for the term trash, pickup, garbage. Are people already complaining? And just start planting seeds. And then one day, eventually, a contract's going to come up for renewal. Something's going to happen. They're going to sell the private equity. You don't have to sit here and wait the whole time. You can start launching the business, but you could you could set all these hooks in the water on next door groups, Facebook groups.
Maybe I was subtly trying to convince people not to compete with me. I'm just kidding. No, you're 100% right. With the Facebook groups, you have huge distribution, right? So like when you start, you don't have to necessarily even wait. You could just say like, hey, I'm starting. Tell your story here. Tell your story there. I think some stuff that I would have done different. Like I didn't put weight on Google reviews at all. And LSA ads. That's something that I don't think enough people talk about. For the first year and a half of this business, we did not do a Google review, and that was a mistake, because when ChatGPT came out, what ended up happening, in my opinion, is Google started prioritizing local businesses. And so I think Google reviews, number one, was something I would do different. And then the LSA ads, for those who don't know, an LSA ad, you only pay when you get the lead. Versus like Google pay-per-click, where you pay to be top of the rankings. LSA, you just pay for like when you get a customer. And like I set that thing at like $50 a day. And just let it go. And so I think that's probably one thing I would redo. When you first asked that question, I'm sitting there going like, I think we bought the truck right. It's still running today in the route. I think we bought the bins the cheapest way. Maybe I would have financed them. I think if you have a subscriber base or you're building a subscriber base, have the customers pay for your needs.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
So even if it's a bad loan terms, if it fits inside of the business model, you could, the accountant, pencil pusher guy is going to tell you you're paying whatever interest rate, and you can kind of look at it and be like, am I though? Because the customer is paying for it. And so I think there's a world where it's like, if you can keep the most amount of cash you can, eventually it'll be paid off.
Yeah.
And that way you can invest in marketing, get more customers to help pay it off faster.
Yeah.
I think any bulk purchase if it can be avoided, it should.
Yeah.
It should be financed.
You might not know this, but this is not my full channel. If you want to watch the full episode of the segment that you just saw, go ahead and check this out or the link in the description.